Welcome to Ballas Union. We're over here with CP running double duties as always.
Yeah, triple duty. I got to do some work. I'm on the clock too.
Oh man, triple duties. We got Smash that holding down the paint. You got myself. I'm playing both wing spots. Our buddy Goldie is snowed out. He's one of those people without power, without heat. Got affected by this cold front that been hitting the whole Midwest.
The whole country, really.
Everybody.
I wouldn't say the whole country because it was 75 degrees where I'm at today.
Florida we just got freezing rain, so.
Oh.
Florida don't count, but North Carolina got hit with a tornado, right? Part of it. I don't know. I can't remember which county. I'm gonna say I think it's the wrong one, but Brunswick County or something like that. They said. But.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in the middle of the state, so all we got was cold weather and a little rain.
Okay.
So you good?
Mm-hmm. I'm chilling.
It's cold here. It's cold here where I'm at. I tell you that.
My son's school ran out of heat, so they had to go back to virtual today because the heater wasn't working.
Oh. That's bad. They should have called me up. I would have got it fixing. I would have got it to work.
They can't afford your prices.
I think since it's the kids, I cut my price in half.
Gotcha.
I don't know what Goldie sitting at, but we sitting at 1 degree where I'm at.
Ooh.
So, nope. And they talking about cutting off the power.
Yeah, I don't want that life anymore.
I know you live it. Both of y'all.
Never again.
Yeah. Well, let's get this show started. Draymond Green made headlines with his comments of what they did to DeAndre Drummond, he was the one of many players they do this to. It was where owners, when they want to trade somebody or they want to get rid of somebody, it's okay, and they bench them. It's okay, you know what I'm saying? And the owners get an attaboy for it. Or another situation we talked about earlier in the year was what they did with Mark Ingram. You know what I'm saying? They made him inactive so he wouldn't play, so he couldn't get injured. So that cost him bonus money. That cost him a contract because since he didn't get injured, they were able to cut him at the end of their season. And the Ravens or the owners saved $5 million, and this guy's out of a job now. Currently, but I'm pretty sure somebody will sign him and pick him back up. But still, it's a dirty practice, but they get praised for it. And then when we have a situation like Deshaun Watson or James Harden requesting a trade, they act like they're the biggest villain since the Joker.
Yeah, so I think it's well, first of all, it's the difference between football and baseball and basketball. So we already know that football don't care about you, unless unless you're the star quarterback, and even then, you got to look a certain way. We already know what that means, but because even when they cut Ingram, they do it all the way up into the Super Bowl. How many people has Bill Belichick cut the night before the Super Bowl? I know that the Bucks cut a player from North Carolina Central, so he cut an HBCU player right before the Super Bowl. He thought he was going to get a ring for his team, and tough break. That stuff happens all the time, especially in the cutthroat world of football. Shoot, black people can't even get their CTE certifications because of all that stuff. What makes you think that they're going to get paid? Now, on the basketball side of things, even though it's the same type of situation, it's a little bit lighter because Drummond's still getting paid, Blake Griffin's still getting paid, whoever else is in the same situation still getting paid. It kind of sucks that they, basically got to sit so nothing happens, but at least they're getting paid. You might want to call it paid administrative leave. Now, I do agree with what he said about Harden, doing what he's doing, and everybody vilified him. I thought that was spot on, and I really think it does suck for Drummond and all them to undergo that. But at the same time, it'd be one thing if they were getting their pay cuts. Now, if they do miss out on a bonus, that might be something, because Drummond gets a handful of rebounds and a whole bunch of garbage stats. So maybe if he's got some contract incentives tied into those bonus stats, then he might feel some type of way. But if he's getting a salary, I mean,
it does. I will say it will cut into their max deals. So for you to qualify as Supermax, you got to be an all NBA player, first team or second team, all defensive player. You got to make X amount of All-Star. You know what I'm saying? You got to have certain checks in the blocks to get a. That's the difference between a max and a Supermax. And even though Blake's at the end of his career, someone like Drummond, that could definitely affect him from a difference between 40 to 50 million.
Have you seen Drummond play?
Yeah. But I'm just that's a far stretch. I'll give you that. But for some players, if they do that to somebody like, let's say, a Zach LaVine, who, if he goes to a different situation, becomes a superstar, because we all know Chicago Bulls ain't doing no players right.
I look at it like this, man. I look at it like I agree with what Draymond said about my man Harden, but at the same time, I look at it like this. This is a business. Everybody on both sides knows it's a business. At that point, I think both people should have some sort of blame, because at that point, like, if you want to leave there as a player, you need to go to the front office. On the back end, if the front office wants to trade you, they need to come to you, because it's a business. Just say, hey, look, you're not working out no more. We want to move you here, and just want to let you know from here on, we're going to sit you out. Or as the player, hey, I don't want to be here no more. From this point on, I'm going to sit out. But announcing all this in the, the press, and then like sitting players out at the last minute, or they finding out at a press conference, that's not a cool look on either part, because it makes me as a person, if I was in that position to play ball, which y'all know I'm the best center there is at less than 6 feet. But anyway, if I was in that position, I wouldn't want to go to that organization if I'm coming from another team, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to look at, like, look how the Rockets did Harden. Look how, first of all, now if you want to just roll this all up in one, we can just say, look how Houston does their athletes, because we could say Deshaun, look how they did Deshaun. So I don't want to play for a Houston organization, period, now. Or, you know what I'm saying? So, but then that's when the players get the thing. So I think, like, as a player, you need to, in the NBA especially, they need to get the players organization together and handle that on their part if they have some disagreement, or get their agent, whatever. But me personally, I didn't like on both sides, the public way they handled it publicly. So
yeah, I think a lot of this gets handled through the agents, though, and so they're just kind of stuck holding the bag at the end, sometimes literally. But I think so much of these negotiations get handled off the court. They're just the benefactors of it, or the ones who got to catch all that. So I think, to Draymond's point there, you could stop having them look stupid. Stop having them look like, they don't either know what they're doing, or they, are a bad person or a bad apple.
Yep.
Right.
No, right. I agree with you.
Yep. And another thing Draymond Green touched on was the mental health. He's saying, like, we don't know what effects these have on players. Like, you spent your entire life. Some of these ball players, especially in basketball, spent their entire life playing basketball. So when you're at the age of 30 and that's all you did your entire life, that's all you know, and they're just sitting you out for no reason, it definitely got to affect you emotionally and mentally.
No, I agree. But that's why I say too, like, if those players got to understand it's a business. I mean, just like all of us can go to work tomorrow and be called in the office and get fired. You know what I mean? Got to understand this. Got to understand it's a business, and it's just like that. I mean, your talents are maybe good, but, as they may say, like, we no longer need your talents here. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll put in a good reference for you, but that's it. So I understand the business end, but I think what Draymond said was good. I think he was passionate. I think a player of Draymond's, and this is where I might get in trouble, but a player of Draymond's caliber may want to slow what he said a little bit because
he's messing up his own money.
Right. Now, if you LeBron or something, yeah, you go ahead. You can say whatever you want to say, but someone of Draymond's caliber, I don't think you. I mean, I applaud him for saying it because I'm guessing that it was it's been said amongst the players, and he was just frustrated. So I applaud him for saying it, but I'm just saying like don't mess up your own money.
I think player empowerment does not equal free reign or free will. And I think that there's a line or there's some sort of I think there's some boundaries still that you have to be aware of. I definitely don't think they should have been locked in a box like they used to be. And so I support all of that, but I think that there still should be some sort of checks and balances, and maybe that falls within them. So you don't need to be talked about, and you don't need all the vilification and all that. But again, like you said, it's a business. So business still has to get done. And when you sign up for it, this is a part of it at some point, or some of these business decisions are part of it at some point. They just might not have to get played out how they're getting played out. So I think there's room for growth on both sides.
Right. And it's something I want to touch back on, something you said about Houston in general and how they do their players. Like, so we all seen what they're doing to Deshaun Watson for Houston, Texas, but they let J.J. Watt go, or basically they granted his wishes for J.J. Watt. You know what I'm saying? They didn't trade him. They bought him out and gave him the option to pick his next team. So, like, why does J.J. Watt get that privilege but not Deshaun?
Because J.J. Watt is retiring.
But also, you said it. You kind of said it earlier, CP. Like you hinted on it, but it's to me like I'll just be blunt. It's come down to the color of the skin. Like when a white athlete says they want out of there, there's no question. But when a black athlete says it's like, wait a minute, like we gave you this opportunity, you better be grateful of this, and it's different. I mean, Matt Stafford said the same thing. There was no argues with Matt Stafford wanting out of Detroit.
Now there you go.
Deshaun says something, and everybody like is on him. Like, dude, you need to stay there and play. And now they're even talking about not even letting him out of Houston. You know what I mean? So, to me, it still comes down to skin color.
It does.
I didn't want to go there.
I mean, it's there. It's all over. I think there's a few factors that kind of gray the area. First of all, Detroit gets no respect as a city or as a sports city, especially not the Lions. So, like, getting out of Detroit is like graduating. Like, they want you to do that. They expect it, and they're going to give you a gift. Getting out of Houston is like, you sure? But also on the business side of it, J.J. Watt is old and washed. And he's been Captain America for so long, and Paul Bunyan of the NFL, super hard worker, Mr. Blue Collar, they're going to take care of him. And that goes into the white part of it. So it's easier to let JJ go if he wants to leave, because you kind of want him gone too, especially since he only been on the field for 40%, if that, of the last few years. So it's kind of more mutual there. With Deshaun, not only do they not have a backup plan, they don't want to be disrespected. They take it more if they had a backup plan, but since they don't, they're going to lean heavy on you're not going to disrespect us like that. You're the quarterback. You do what we say. But I guarantee you, if they get some sort of hint at somebody that they can at least save face with, he'll be out. Now, on his way out, they're going to call him all sorts of everything in the book but an N-word. They're going to call him that too. Well, yeah, but they're going to wait till he gets on the plane first. But before that, he's going to be,
I wanted to throw in there too, because you brought up Detroit, and I know it's not on the billet, but Blake Griffin is in there too, right? In this conversation.
Blake Griffin is probably the J.J. Watt of the NBA. Close to it.
I mean, do you agree with what Detroit is doing to him?
Oh yeah, he got to go. Blake,
Oh, for real? Okay. So you agree? You agree with that one?
Yeah. So first of all, like the Pistons, the Pistons are actually playing pretty good ball. Our record is like 10-20 though, so we're still where we are, but we play hard every night. We go out swinging. We don't get blown out very much. Out of those losses, I think Giannis gave us like 60 one night, and then I think we might have got blown out like one other time. But for the most part, we're playing pretty tough. The win might not even be close, but we're playing pretty tough. We got these young guys who are trying to put some stuff together. If we can package Blake for something, something short of a draft pick or something, we might be all right. You see, we got Derrick Rose up out of there, and I like Derrick Rose, but Derrick Rose is sitting there like, so I'm like 30 something. What y'all doing? So we got him out of there. So it's just time. And Blake and my boy, shout out to my boy Pastor Marcus, but he said he's never seen anybody like depreciate as fast as Blake did. It's like as soon as he stepped off the plane in Detroit from LA, and maybe it was the weather. They just put out a stat that said he hasn't dunked in over a year. Blake Griffin, the same one who won the slam dunk contest for like dunking over a car, has not put the ball in the rim in over a year. And that was what he was good for. And it's not like he's, killing threes now like Vince Carter or, master the fadeaway like all the legends. He's just out there. He's just out there. So he got to go.
Yeah. So talking about dunk contest, what's your guys' thoughts on the NBA All-Star Game? There's a lot of players are voicing their opinion. It shouldn't be an All-Star Game. Obviously, NBA is pushing it because of their sponsor, because of money. They need that. They need that revenue. They need that advertising dollars. And their sponsors. Their sponsors that. What is it? Sprite Slam Dunk Contest. They're like, hey man, we paid you this money, so we need a slam dunk contest.
That's true. If they really didn't want it, they should just give the money back or repurpose it to later on in the season. You could do like a skills competition. You can do all the other stuff at the end of the season and treat it like the Pro Bowl. If you really don't want to have, a mid-season classic, which is fine, you could do that. You could save those sponsorship dollars to the end. You could repurpose it. I think the NBA, with everything that they've done schedule-wise and the fact that they don't know what their schedule is going to be, for the back half of the season, I think they probably just caved on this one. They were like, look, we got so much going on. We ain't got time to fix this one. Just if y'all coming, y'all coming.
Yeah, I think they should. I agree with LeBron on this one. I mean, this one is definitely a fans game right here. So if you can't really have the fans impact the stadium, I mean, why even have it? You know what I mean? Because I like watching it, but it's all about the atmosphere and the people that are there, the dunk contest and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Like if they do something, I don't know. I think all the All-Star games in every sport needs to be revamped on all sides: baseball, football, and basketball. Basketball is the leading. Like they have the best All-Star game overall. But it all needs to be revamped, So I agree with him, man. Like, I think it's hard. You growing up like a LeBron player, a type player, even all these other players, they grew up playing AU basketball and all that stuff. You got crowds. You got people that come from all over that just watching you play. And now you sitting there playing just the guys that's on the court. That's a mental game too. Like, so that takes you out of it. So I can understand them not wanting to play. Let them rest. And then let's have a better second half of the season. Give them a week off, and let's have a better half of the season.
Well, I'm actually for the All-Star game. If we have a season, you might as well have a season. Don't half-step it. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, the All-Star, for me personally, the All-Star game, after the All-Star game is when I started watching the NBA consistently.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? The All-Star game also introduced me to a lot of young players that are not on my radar that I don't know about. because they either be in a rookie challenge or the skills challenge, or you see some young rookie in a slam dunk. I'm like, okay, let me check this guy out. Or you see an unknown player from such and such team lighting it up in the 3-point contest. And then you always get those. And then the All-Star game too is also enjoyable. Not the entire game, but they have those moments where you have those, like, who could forget Kobe checking LeBron? You know what I'm saying? Or Westbrook going off on everybody. You know what I'm saying? Or Iverson. Man, he put on a show in All-Star games. You know what I'm saying? So
now you're right. But the only thing I'll counter you with, because I agree with what you're saying, because some of the stuff you're saying I didn't even think about, but I'll counter you with all the things that you named had crowds.
True.
This one won't have a crowd, so it's different. You know what I mean? Like LeBron, if you watch LeBron in the bubble and watch LeBron before that, like, he played different in the bubble because he didn't have that crowd to hype him up and to go for it. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, I'm waiting for this, them to start letting fans back in. I think the NBA could learn something from the NFL, because the NFL, I mean, we didn't get reported cases of people who caught COVID by attending the NFL game, but they started letting fans in, and they gave us a random number, 20% were going to be in the stands. But when you looked at it, you were like, no, that's more than 20%. You know,
right.
So I think they can start letting fans back in, and I don't know. I think, but some of the points you named were actually pretty good. So, I mean, I don't know. I think if the players don't want it, I would go with them, because it's a player's game and a fan's game. So,
right, yeah.
Because the thing I feel is going to happen is, the only thing I feel is going to happen is going to get like the Pro Bowl, where players going to be like, nah, I'm going to sit out, and then the next person up get. Now we got like somebody from the G League in the All-Star game.
Right, but I accept that. but I accept that though. Like, so we'll get some unknown player and he shows out. I like that. I like the underdog winning.
But would you watch
like LeBron? LeBron could sit out the James Hardings, the LeBron James, the Kevin Durant's. Who else? A big Giannis. They could sit out. Let me see some of these young guys come out here and dominate.
Then it's not an All-Star game. We might as well call that a who's who game.
You know what I'm saying? It haven't. Well, those guys don't even play.
Rename it, rebrand it.
Yeah, I guess we could be rebranded to who's who, but I'll definitely like to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But the NFL, the Super Bowl, they said they allowed 22,000 fans. It looked more around 30 or over 30.
Right.
And it's 7,500 of them were essential workers, nurses, doctors, stuff like that. They were already vaccinated. So the NFL did their PR and stuff like, okay, hey, we're gonna let these people in, but we also gonna give these free tickets to these healthcare and promote this vaccination and all this other stuff. So I think that's how they got away with allowing X amount of people in.
Mm-hmm.
So I got it, and this is where NBA need to pay Ballas Game. So we do a who's who game, right? And then also in All-Star weekend, we're gonna have a Big Three tournament. Ice Cube can get in, pump up the Big Three tournament. Because we want to see some of those old players anyway, right?
Yes.
So put them in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do it all like that. And then it'll tune in. And then if you want to, we always talk about it. You could try to do something with the WNBA to get them some type of exposure, but that'll probably be the least watched. I hate to say it, but it's true.
Right. They actually, it's crazy. They get the celebrity game is where they get the most exposure.
Yeah.
So they have that. They have that. It has a WNBA player, a current player, and then a former NBA player, like a legend or something. And they do like some kind of skills challenge, and then they have the celebrity game. And yeah, these women can ball, man. They'll be out there doing their thing. And
I agree. I agree.
And then let's go ahead and moving forward. The NFL offseason is official now.
It's beneficial for us.
Yeah. One side note is on the Ballas Junior Facebook page. Check it out. We had this video of a guy streaking. And I want to say it was the third quarter of the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So that guy, him and his buddy, they made it. Well, the guy that was streaking put a $50,000 bet that somebody was streaking the Super Bowl in Vegas. The payout was $375,000. You know what I'm saying? So his buddy did it first, so security could grab him to allow him to go out there and streak and make $375,000.
Yeah, they canceled that.
Yeah,
they canceled that bet.
Yeah, one, he was talking too much. Two, they figured out there's a cap on it, and they exceeded the cap by a whole bunch. And then since he was talking about it too much, they saw all the channels he did, and they canceled all those bets. So he basically had a bunch of people max out their bets. Like if it was $2,000, he had like 25 people max out $2,000 bet to get to that 50,000. And then, yeah, so I want to know, like, since he used like at least 2 G's of that to bail himself and his buddy out who ran the decoy of the diversion, since he's not getting that payout, I guess he's out 2 G's for that.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? I don't know.
He definitely got a story to tell the grandkids.
True.
Very true.
He did a good job, though.
Yep. Yeah. And that's one of those friends. Like, hey, do we have friends like that? That reminds me of that fire. Remember that fire party? I mean, that fire documentation.
Oh, Fire Fest.
Yeah, the Fire Fest. And the dude said, and then like the dude basically said he was gonna he was willing to give head to get some permit pass. Yeah, I'm like, I don't got no friends like that. I'm just gonna be honest.
For the water, it was for the water.
Yeah.
Water, yeah. Hey, we all need an Andy on our team. I don't have one.
I don't have one either.
I ain't got no.
Don't call me. I'll tell you that right now.
We ain't get no water, Gio.
But let's get back to this offseason. There's rumors of all these quarterbacks are on the trade block or rumored to leave. The latest one is Russell Wilson. He's unhappy in Seattle. And then Russell Wilson's also getting dragged by Twitter for uplifting his wife. I don't get it. But Matt Ryan is scheduled to be traded, or he's considered on the trade block. Deshaun Watson wants to go. There's rumors Aaron Rodgers is unhappy, but they ain't gonna trade him.
Nah.
Who else is there? Jimmy Garoppolo. Man, that's the whole NFC West. All their quarterbacks are leaving. Matt Stafford ready to change places. And then you got your free agents like Mitch Trubisky, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Tyrod Taylor. So there's a lot
in that mix. Tyrod gonna be in the Johnny Manziel league after this. What is it called? Fan voting football? Fan focus.
Hey, you don't like Tyrod?
I like Tyrod, but the NFL don't like Tyrod. That's why they tried to take him out.
They did take him out. They didn't try. They did.
And now he ain't getting that job back. He got Wally pipped.
Yeah, he need to file a lawsuit on that.
Well, he can't because it's part of the CBA.
Dang.
Yeah, so he just got stuck in the chest and lost his job.
That's like some old military type stuff.
Yeah, it's the same type of contract. Same type of contract.
We can do whatever we want, but you can't sue us. Okay.
Right. And then only issue Tyrod got, he don't get no disability benefits like we do. So he's out of luck.
Yeah, he's really out of luck. But I don't know. It just sounds like the normal quarterback carousel. Like, I don't think there's anything surprising about that. You can pretty much figure out who's going to stay and who's going to go. Like, Aaron Rodgers ain't going nowhere. Matt Ryan is going to mess around and end up playing for whoever doesn't draft a quarterback when they said they were. I don't know, just the rest of the stuff. The rest of the quarterbacks are mediocre at best, and so they'll just move around in mediocrity, I guess. So,
and I agree. Except Matt Ryan ain't going nowhere. Like if the team is smart, and they came out and said that they're not going to trade Julio or Matt, but I think this year anyway, I think what they're going to do is some type of way, whether it's through the draft or free agency, get a quarterback and let them be backup to Matt Ryan, and then after that, if you don't have a great year like that MVP season, then he'll be looking for another team, or he'll just be like, I retired, forced to retire. So, but like CP said, the rest are just mediocrity. The stock is in the draft. I think there's a lot of players that are going to bloom coming from the draft. I really don't think the old boy, everybody like Trevor, what is it, Trevor Lawson or Trevor
Lawrence?
Lawrence. I was like Lawson. Trevor Lawrence, I don't think he's going to be – I think he's going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be as good as everybody thinks, especially not under Urban Meyer. So,
yeah, playing for Jacksonville with Herb, I'm like, I don't know if that's going to cut it. But then again, who's the other choice? The Jets? So –
yeah,
I feel like somebody's going to trade to get him. Like now, if Bill Belichick throw in a trade and go pick him up, good night.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah,
good night.
What about the Dolphins with the third pick and the extra first?
Well, they're gonna move Tua first.
Yep.
Because they got to move Tua. He's too valuable to not get anything for. And maybe if they're short on what they need to move up, they can package some draft picks in trading for Tua if they're not going to trade anybody like straight up or potential star to potential star. So
I can see that.
Yeah.
Where's because I always have a conversation offline with other people about this, but where's Cam going to land? Because I think Cam, if he's humble enough, he's going to be a backup quarterback somewhere. But I don't think he's humble enough.
I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Cam, because the way he played his career, and the way Cam is Cam, he didn't adjust to be more of a pocket passer. Yeah. I think Cam is done. He, like you saw it last year in New England, like he didn't have the passion no more. And it's not like he doesn't have passion for football. He doesn't have heart. He does. Saying he was an MVP. He was a Heisman Trophy. He went to the Super Bowl. He did it all except for win. But I just think his Father Time took a toll on him a lot quicker than other QBs because of the way he played.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's going to be a black mark on his resume because if you can't win with Bill Belichick, even though he's tough, but they're not going to look at it that way. They're going to look at it like you had the opportunity to be under the GOAT tutelage, even though half your defense took COVID leave for the year. You had this opportunity and you quote unquote blew it. If he starts again, it could be Chicago, maybe. That's the only team I could really see him starting for.
This is true.
You see him in Chicago?
That's about the only place they'll let him start. Otherwise, he got to hold a clipboard.
Dang. Yeah, I don't see him holding a clipboard.
Yeah.
He's just not that type of player to me.
Who's the quarterback for the Giants? No, they like Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Maybe the Eagles.
Maybe he teams back up with Ron Rivera for the Washingtons.
Oh, they did get rid of Haskins, huh?
But they got
and Alex Smith can't play anymore.
Yeah, so that could be.
That's not bad.
But even still, even if he does start, I wouldn't imagine. I think his ceiling is just having decent games, being 8-8 or just being an average quarterback. I think that's his ceiling at this point. I can't imagine him doing anything crazy where he becomes like a Pro Bowl quarterback again. I think wherever he goes, he's going to have to be comfortable in just being okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the season looks good. I know people are starting their little workouts. I know Trevor Lawrence once again just had his little workout. I think this past Friday because I know
he got surgery though too.
Yep.
What did he have surgery on?
Something minor.
Non-throwing shoulder.
Okay, I didn't even know that. Okay, that's good to know. But I'm not even worried about my Falcons because they're gonna do something stupid. They got the 4th pick in the draft, and we're gonna pick like the number 92 lineman in the draft. You know what I mean?
I thought you guys had the 6th pick.
No, we got number 4. Don't put us down. I'm pretty sure we got number 4. You might be thinking about the Hawks pick. And you got me. Now you got me looking it back up. I'm pretty sure we got number 4 because I've been on that number 4 forever. Yeah. We number 4. We number 4. I think you were thinking about maybe the Hawks pick in the draft because I think they might have had number 10, but I'll take 6. But anyway, yeah, we always do stupid picks, man. Like we're gonna pick some lineman, or hell, we might pick some non-player that work at Lowe's for Arthur Blank and shit that be on the team or something. So.
Hey, a lineman might be good though. That kid from Oregon's a real deal.
A hardware expert extraordinary from Lowe's.
Yeah, he can lay the wood.
Oh man!
Not only can he lay floors, he lay people down. Like, yeah, whatever.
Nah, I honestly see the Falcons picking up Justin Fields.
People say that, man, but I don't know. Like, I'm not sold on Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields, don't get me wrong. Like, I follow him on I don't know if y'all watch QB1, but I follow him on QB1 and follow his college career and up to now. But I don't know, like, I don't know how that would be. Like, to me, that would be my dream if I was a football player to play for the team where I grew up, you know, in the state that I grew up, to play for that football team. But I don't know. Like, I haven't really seen enough out of Justin Fields, in my opinion, to say that he can come in there and command that team.
Okay. CP, who you see the Lions drafting? They got a lot of draft capital now.
I honestly have no idea what we're going to do. I will officially be upset about the Goff trade if we don't draft a quarterback to either shadow him or be part of a package or be ready to take over when we, turn Goff into a rental. If we don't draft one in the first round or two when there's people available, then I'm going to be upset. If we end up drafting one later, I hope they're from a HBCU or something, just so we can represent, since our GM is from a HBCU. Oh, this one. So I hope that we make some good choices, but I have no idea who we're going to get. I'm anxious to see, but when you're as good or as bad as we are, it don't matter. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that can happen when you go 0-16 or when you repeatedly end last to, Aaron Rodgers and them? So let's see what happens.
Y'all 5-11 this year.
Yeah. I called that too, even with the coach switch. So we'll see. I don't know what kneecaps is going to do, but I'm gonna just say 6-10 to start with, and then we'll see how we draft.
I got the Bears trading their picks away for Wentz.
Really?
And yeah, I see the price it will cost to get Watson. I see the Bears overpaying that for Carlson or Carl, whatever his name is, Wentz.
Carson Wentz. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Carson.
I can see that happen.
Yep. And I see the Bears going and the Lions having a better record than the Bears.
I don't see that.
I mean, I could see that y'all. I mean, Chicago haven't really had a decent quarterback since McMahon.
No, Jay Cutler.
Eric Kramer.
No, we're not gonna count Cutler in this conversation.
Cutler was a good quarterback. He just they didn't have nothing. His number one wide receiver was Devin Hester. His left tackle to protect his blind side didn't even know how to tie his shoe. Cutler was out there on the island.
What about your your blended team. You know, you got the Chicago
Oh,
Cardinals.
Chicago. They need to fire the coach.
At the
That
Cardinals.
head coach, he never won more than 8 games in high school, college, NFL. Doesn't matter. He never won more than 8 games.
And you went all the way back to college? Oh, you went to Pop Warner?
Yeah.
Cold-blooded.
Lee.
Yeah.
For the Cardinals?
Yeah, look it up.
I'm gonna have to now. Shoot.
Yeah, he got to pay for that all-white house that he got. So
Hey, he got a nice house. He got the gift for gab. He should be selling cars or something, but
Listen, he never won more than 8 games.
he's selling dreams effectively since he's 8-8.
I gotta say that Kyler Murray was a surprise to me because I had him to be a wash in the NFL.
I like him.
I like him, but I had him. I thought I knew he could play, but I was just going by his size and that quarterback. I was like, he's not gonna work in the NFL, but he made it work.
Yep, it helps when you got Fitzgerald and D-Hop.
Well, at least D-Hop. Larry just out there. He an assistant coach at this point.
He just riding.
Yeah.
He just riding.
Well, he's telling him he's teaching him how to read defense though. Fitzgerald.
Yeah. He's an assistant coach.
Yeah. Hey, we don't have those in Chicago, so to me that's a plus.
Hey, but I heard
we didn't have head coaches, so
I heard Chicago might get OBJ though.
Yeah, for what? We don't have a quarterback.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I don't know what Odell is going to do, but I wonder if his shelf life is running out.
Yeah, it's definitely his persona outweighs the talent. So
yeah, because Cleveland actually started doing better when he went out.
They made the playoffs.
Yeah, so I see them trading him because you can't have those two egos. I mean, you got Baker Mayfield and then Odell, two big egos. So he's got to go somewhere else, and I think Chicago will humble him. You know, he'd be like, who was the one like Brandon Marshall when he was in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got a story about Brandon Marshall. You know why he got humbled in Chicago?
Why is that?
Beat up.
Because he got whooped. You see? Okay, you see these? Let me see. See this number 33, Tillman?
Peanut.
So Brandon Marshall, you went in there talking crazy, you know, whatever, talking crazy, talking this, that, and the third. And they're like, yo, chill, man, relax. It's just practice, whatever. Like, no, this is this. And Tillman's like, hey, man, you need to chill out, relax, or else. And he's like, I'll whoop everybody in here. And he's like, all right.
Whoops.
All right. And that was the biggest mistake because Tillman in his all-time practice, he's like a black belt or something in martial arts or whatever. He comes from a family in the military. And when he retired, he joined the FBI. So Tillman ain't that dude to mess with.
Okay.
And he gave him it was like somebody fighting. It was like some local street dude fighting Muhammad Ali. Like Brandon Marshall got no punches in and just caught a 10-piece dinner.
Little slice of humble pie. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Yep. So ever since then, like all that stuff he was talking, nobody listened to him no more. No one respect him no more. So it was like he lost his swag, he lost his leverage, whatever it is in the locker room. He lost all of it, respect, all of it. Like, hey man, he can't be talking that big and can't even get one punch in, not one.
That's cold.
Yeah. So you could just imagine him saying something to somebody and be like, "Hey man, I'm just gonna get Charles Uncle Topina to punch you again. So be quiet." Yeah. So last thing before we close out, any sleepers or any players that we should look out for in this NFL upcoming draft?
I'm gonna just say somebody from Michigan just because I'm a homer, but I literally have nobody, or somebody from HBCU. That's it. That's all I got.
You can't drop a name from Michigan? No.
Nope. I ain't watched them this year. They only played 3 games and they were 0 they played 3 games and somehow were like 0-7.
This year, I'm not calling anybody just because of the way the season went. Like, most of the games were in conference due to COVID. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. I'm not saying that they're not good players, but we'll see. We'll see what comes out. So I can't call it on this one.
Right. Person I like to see, he was hyped before the season or so-called season, but COVID ruined all of that. I definitely wanted to see him play more games. Was Trey Lance? He got some big arm. He's mobile, but I don't know if he could read defense. I don't know if he's accurate because I haven't seen him enough in big games to make that determination. But that's somebody that he's definitely going to drop in the draft now because of the situation. But that might be a steal for any team.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yep. So we at the 2-minute warning mark. CP, you got any thoughts?
Yeah. So we talked earlier today about sitting players down and trading for assets. And I think when we look at some of the things that we go through in our lives, we want to trade some of our vices for good qualities and make it a 1-to-1 deal, or get rid of that and then put this on. And I think it doesn't always work that way. And sometimes we got to be willing to unload or sit down some of the things that we need to work on and give ourselves some draft picks for later. We don't always have to have it figured out, but we can set ourselves up so that we're ready when we do, and we can put ourselves back in championship contention.
Smash?
The only quick thing I got to say, man, is like, I believe in fairness. A lot of times, I do, but I don't like to look at color, you know what I'm saying? Because color hits you in the face, colorism or whatever, but I believe in fairness. So the same way they did Ray Rice, the NFL needs to do Chad Wheeler for beating his girlfriend like he did. You know what I mean? Like, regardless whatever the law does to him, he needs to be banned from the NFL because he has a problem and it needs to be dealt with. So I just felt like this story has kind of been swept under the rug, kind of quiet. I mean, I know Ray Rice's was on camera and TMZ, but this one right here just still needs to be brought up and mentioned. So I just hope that they do the same thing to him that they did to Ray Rice.
Did somebody pick him up?
No, not yet.
He bonded out.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't think he's ever going to play sports again.
I hope not.
He need to go get checked out because they had some. He was having some episodes too. So
yeah, they say he schizophrenia or something like that. So
Right. So now he's gonna play the CTE card.
Oh, he gonna play it hard, like,
and they're gonna give him the funding too.
He'll sit out a year or two, and then next thing you know, it'll be a redemption year for him when he come back.
He don't need the year; he just need the dollars.
Yep.
Well, that's a heavy one. I think just to add to that, also Andy Reid's son, Brett Reid.
Yeah.
Or no, not Brett. Britt Reid.
It's Britt Reid.
Yeah, he he got in a car accident. He was drinking. He was under the influence. Put some kids in intensive care, and this wasn't his first time being arrested and under the influence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like, I know we talked about the last episode. We briefly talked about that. So that's another thing too. So who knows what happens with him? But my thing is like, ask the expert, man, in anything in life. If you have marriage issues or have a marriage question, ask your friends that have been married for years. Don't ask your buddy that's single. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to, like, and I'm only saying this from experience because I'm over here making a big purchase, and I should have asked my buddies that have been married, and it'll save me a lot of money. It'll save me a lot of headaches. I've been getting whooped this past week.
Oh, man.
Hey,
that we're out.
Oh, wait.
Go ahead, Smash.
Side note to the Britt Reid thing, man. The little girl did awaken from her coma today.
Oh, good.
She'll do good and be back to her normal self. So she did awaken today. So that's good news.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On that note, we're out.